Hello and welcome to the Retail Journey Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Charles Greathouse.
And I am James Harris, and today Charles and I will be discussing Walmart Luminate and the transition that companies will need to make by March 1st of next year to either basic or charter.
How about that? So let's jump straight into it. October 5th, it was announced that DSS is going to go away. The DSS that we've known and loved, the DSS that when I was at Walmart, I got to train most of, if not all of the incoming merchants on how to use, how to pull queries, how to spell warehouse. Kind of my favorite little tagline there. It's WHSE. You spell it any other way, you're not getting data back. DSS has been here, had a good 30-year run and was basically unchanged for that entire time period. And as of March 1st, will no longer be available to suppliers.
Indeed.
What does that mean for you if you're a supplier? It means that as of March 1st, you will not have access to your data at Walmart outside of Walmart Luminate. And Walmart Luminate has two very different ways of approaching it. So today we want to talk to you a bit about that, some of the decisions that people will need to consider, some of the implications for merchants and for suppliers. We're going to talk about this from our experience. Neither one of us work at Walmart.
That's right.
Feel compelled to mention that. I used to work at Walmart. I got to co-found the beginning stages of this entire journey by naming the group Data Ventures, by exploring what suppliers would want, what kind of data, if they could have access to everything, what would they actually want to see? And if they had access to that, what would they do with it? And that gives me a pretty unique perspective on Walmart Luminate and the future that exists there. And we have a group of clients that we've helped navigate retail here since 2007.
That's right.
At High Impact. And so from that context, we want to talk to you guys a little bit about, all right, the retail journey is nonlinear, and a potential bump or a hill, which is great because we're climbing.
It's a radical change in your data schema.
This is a radical change that is forthcoming, and there's now a timeline where if this was something you were considering, consider it quickly because
That's right.
Because things are changing.
Should we break down basic versus charter to start things out?
Yeah, let's do that. So from your understanding as we get into the first days of having access to basic, at the highest level, what are we looking at?
We're looking at DSS minus a little bit. And a different functionality of how you run the reports, how they come back, how they're returned. But primarily, it's that there's going to be less metrics and less data points to work with than what we've had hitherto.
Question I've heard a lot. So basic, do I still get Walmart Luminate?
Yeah, it's a good question.
It's funny because it is Walmart Luminate. So there's two versions. There's a basic version that is free at no charge, and there's a charter version that is not free.
Not free.
Based off a percentage of sales, and that's a number you'll get from Walmart Luminate themselves. For any of their official information, it's walmartluminate.com.
But really, just to reinforce, it is March 1st where all suppliers are on either charter or basic Luminate. DSS is no more. And
invitations started in October.
That's right.
So they first started coming out. If you go to the walmartluminate.com/plans, which is their website, you can kind of see how that lays out and some of those time frames. When considering, all right, do I do the free or I do the paid? You typically you get what you pay for.
Right.
That seems like that's going to ring true here with Walmart Luminate. What are some of the things that come to mind when making the decision of all right, do I go basic? Do I go charter?
Well, I think it's largely your at least starting point is your revenue. If you're a small company, one item, you're only selling online, some of those things I think are qualifying legitimately for basic. If you don't have a need to see overall category performance and don't have the budget to do it, then basic is for you.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that happen with charter that are very different than how data has worked at Walmart in the past. we've talked about it briefly before. There are 3 core products in the charter version. In basic, there's just one, and it's a different version than what's in charter. So
That's
you
right.
just have access to channel performance, which is the operational data, which makes sense. It's the operational data that you need. So if you're just thinking
Sales
about
inventory.
managing your business, maybe just maintaining where your business is at Walmart, you will have visibility. But that visibility is not quite the same.
Right. So we know Basic's going to be free and a little less than we've got today. Let's jump into Charter, because there is a lot of new and a lot of better data.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Charter.
I mean, there's a decision here between Basic and Charter. So if you're already decided, like, hey, I'm not paying for data, stay tuned. Listen, there is a lot of value that comes out of this. But data itself isn't valuable. Data is valuable by the decisions that you make that are different.
Right.
That's the entire business
That is high
that you
impact
created.
analytics.
That's why in 2007 you're like, hey, let's take an entrepreneurial journey.
Right.
It was to help folks that didn't have a major CPG presence, infrastructure, and decision-making tools to
Make better decisions
to get
using
the
data.
benefit of data-driven decisions. And now, through lots of evolution, I think the way I've enjoyed describing what we do the most is we're a fractional, top-tier CPG team for hire. If you
Walmart
want
and
to
Sam's
have
Club.
a Walmart and Sam's Club top-tier CPG team, we can do that from anything from storing, managing data, to the reporting, to sales analytics, supply chain, category management, category-centric growth, design, full service, all of that. But enough about that. But it all comes down to the actual decisions that you're able to make. And so when looking at it, Basic keeps you just below the bar of today, of where DSS has been. And the data available has evolved a lot. Customer has evolved a lot. The competitive landscape has evolved a lot. Your competitors, as a emerging brand, or as a brand that's been around for a while, as you've seen, competitors are popping up out of everywhere. And there's data involved in the story. There's data involved in every aspect of that. And so nowadays, there are a lot of reasons to need additional data to grow your business with Walmart. So let's talk about Charter.
Yeah. So first of all, we already said new data, better data, radically improve the understanding of the shopper. But what are some of the challenges that come along with now incorporating a data lake instead of a flat file, et cetera, et cetera? There's a number of things kind of behind the scenes to be aware of, and one of them is the change of the schema from DSS to Luminate. You can go to Retail Link and run a report in Report Builder as a Charter subscriber, but that has reduced functionality to the API. And the API is the data that is streamed to you, for lack of a better term. You are responsible as the supplier to land that data, to build the engineering, the warehouse of how that data lives.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's 36-ish files that come over
Up
as
to
a part
38
of that.
tables now in that feed. So I think Walmart Luminate has announced the first round of certified Walmart Luminate providers, and that first round was based off of the API providers. This all relates to the channel performance data, which is the operational data. The API is only available to Charter members. API is very valuable. When we were having the discussions early days when I was still at Walmart, forming what this should look like as we talked to suppliers, if you could have access to all the data, what would you want? API came up with almost every single conversation, because this allows you to have consistent delivery of the data in a way that can be used better internally. If you can have a data lake, you can do so much more with the data schema to make sure that it performs for you. You can do a lot of custom work that's very different than how it worked before with a flat file. And so now with an API, you have access to do all these things, but in order to actually do them, you have to do them. You have to be able to develop. You have to have data engineers understand how to protect data when it lands within your data lake. And that is why we've made the very important decision to take on a strategic partner in this space.
That's right. Our good friends at Mookster, one of the 5 Walmart Luminate API certified providers, is our strategic partner, is the owner of the back end of the warehousing, the engineering, the storing, the safety, best in the business.
Yeah, and so to have a partner that day in, day out, all day, every day is paying attention to data feeds, how they're flowing, whether or not things are on time, that everything is secure, has been a game changer. And
Absolutely.
over the last year and a half, as we've been working together, working with Mookster and developing our back end, we did all of that in preparation for the transition from DSS to the future of data with Walmart, which is Walmart Luminate. So that preparation cycle has been critical. That partnership has been critical. For our current clients, it's a rest easy because we're ready. We know where we're going. We know how to get there, and we're excited about that future with that operational data.
And with our strategic partner with Mookster, that covers both basic and charter.
Yeah, question often asked, like, does this, can we still work with you if we choose to go the basic route? And the answer is yes. As you'll find, the visuals, the access to data in basic is limited versus both what was there in DSS, and certainly dramatically different than what's available in charter. Which those that are against the idea of paying for it, I'd encourage you to think about if you hadn't ever paid for data or gotten it for free, when you look at the opportunity that exists for you at Walmart and the size and the scale and how your brands will be able to grow, think about it in that context as a piece of running your business with Walmart.
Right. And knowing that most, if not all, of your competitors.
That's like one of those things that's always floating in the back of your head. Right. You can't really ignore that if your competitors are looking at this, there's some things with shopper behavior that make it have FOMO start rising to the top. So shopper behavior is the second product. It is worlds different than what DSS has ever shared. So it's actually focused on shopper, anonymized, aggregated, shopper-based metrics that show repeat purchase over time, how customers are moving, if they're new to a category, what incrementality looks like, clear visibility to assortment deep dive, which is a product tool that helps you understand which items are going to be most incremental. If you can only have a certain number of items, or if you remove one item, where does that volume go? That helps you play with scenarios that as a merchant, we had a hard time getting a hold of that just as a merchant, let alone on the outside. Now there's a significantly increased visibility, and that visibility includes access to every one of the items in the category that you play in, not just your items.
So the schema has radically changed, lake versus flat file. Another thing that we've discovered over the last year that we've built and planned for is the almost monthly changes to what data is in each of those files. So 1 month a column can be deleted, the next month 3 columns can be added. Mookster has built, and they've engineered a system to be able to react within that without breaking all the links to reports.
Yeah, even better than React, focused on catching changes before they get sent through in reports. So many different tables. Shopper behavior went from maybe a dozen, 14 reports to now 22 reports available in shopper behavior as things keep getting tweaked, and that's kind of a theme with what we've seen with Walmart Luminate. The consistency that DSS had, which was stark and a little bit too much, right? 30 years of just not changing is probably too long for it to have been the same.
Consumers have changed a lot.
Stark contrast in with Walmart Luminate, because it has changed more than once a month, every month since it's existed.
Intentionally so.
And so as things continue to iterate, there is this need to have a deep focus on how those changes impact what you're using to operate your business, how those changes impact the decisions that you're bringing forward as your recommendations to merchants, where and how you expect to grow with Walmart.
So those are some of the things that any supplier, whether you work with High Impact or work with us in the future or not, everybody has to make a decision by March 1st. For those that work with us or those that we would love to work with, our solution for some of these coming changes is, in addition to our strategic partnership with Mookster, is our first product launch, Pharos, our reporting dashboard system that works with either Basic and or Charter as your reporting platform.
Yeah. I mean, if I rewind back to about a year and a half ago when we first started having conversations, and I get to join the high impact squad, one of the first things was, all right, what's the tech stack look like? What's our readiness for the future of data with Walmart? And at that point, we started investing very intentionally on what does reporting look like. We've got a team of analysts, supply analysts, supply chain analysts, replenishment analysts, category managers that are constantly, as part of just how high impact operates, understanding data, understanding the implications of data, and then taking that understanding into action, driving and influencing new decisions, trying to get, if there's a replenishment setting that needs to be changed, getting that replenishment setting to change. And
identifying what the setting needs to be, what form needs to be produced to get it changed, and following it.
Leveraging data science to anticipate future outs, and knowing which outs have been resolved, which ones haven't. All of that experience that our analyst team has used for years, founded in 2007. So there's a lot that is consistent about running retail with data is baked into the Pharos Retail Analytics Suite.
And we like to say built by analysts for analysts.
And as an analyst, when you walk into a report that sure is pretty, and you have to export that sucker to Excel and then do actual work with it. Pharos is built to get you from I don't know if I have any problems to I finding problems, to understanding the root cause of those problems, to addressing the action plans you have to take to then solve those problems. So at the end of the day, data doesn't create value. Better decisions creates value. And so we're really excited for the first time to productize our retail analytics suite and make it available to you. So
that's right.
Pharos is out there. It's available. Contact us on the website. Reach out to us on LinkedIn. Talk to any one of our clients to hear how it's helped them and helped our team empower better decision making with Walmart, therefore improving results, getting improved sales.
And we really tried to come at this to not only meet the changing need here, moving from DSS to Luminate, but to build, like you've described, the best from beginning summary, understanding the business down to the action steps that every different group on the team needs to be pursuing. We've done that by working ourselves, right? Talking to every member of our team. What should go here? Here's what we've got now. Now what should go here?
Yeah.
What are we missing? We've brought in many of our customers and asked for their feedback. We've worked throughout the community, and we've got something that I think is really a game changer.
Yeah. I mean, when you create something in a vacuum, you don't understand how it is meant to be used, it reveals itself.
Right.
That's a well-known, when you look at something, we're like, hey, they have no idea what I do. That's great. Sure is pretty. This isn't that. And it's been really fun to see the reaction.
It's not executive only focused. It's not sales only focused.
Right.
It's not supply chain only focused or category. It's all four of those incorporated into the suites and dashboards and reports.
And you think about the future of Pharos, James, what are you most excited about?
Just being the lookout. We don't need to know and do everything, but we need to know and do everything that we can related to Walmart and Sam's Club and specifically data.
Yeah.
And this is something that we're really proud of, that I'm really proud of. And I think it's a big part of the future of the company and the industry. Yeah,
it's been a really fun leapfrog moment for us as we get ahead of the curve and want to help our clients stay ahead. So we have a lot that's in Pharos today and much more to come as we continue to evolve, as Walmart data evolves, as we all get to go through this transition March 1st, where it will only be coming from Walmart Luminate.
So what are some common questions that we've been hearing, that you've been hearing?
Yeah. So does Pharos work with Basic and Charter? And the answer is yes. Well, actually, we name one, Pharos Retail Analytics Suite Basic, and one is is Retail Analytics Suite Charter, so you understand, because the tools look very different, because the data is very different. And the transition from DSS to Luminate is one that has been super helpful. One of the best practices we've seen is folks getting on to our Pharos Retail Analytics Suite prior to transitioning to Luminate, whether that's basic or charter, so that your team can get used to the way we approach root cause identification, analytics, and solving problems, so that as you transition, you get to do one thing at a time instead of transitioning all of it at one time, because the data in Luminate is different than DSS, and the reporting suite therefore has to be different. We've built it from the ground up with that in mind, and have seen clients that have gotten into it ahead of their access to Luminate have really enjoyed the ease of that transition and the speed to then getting value from their investment in the charter membership.
Right. Another common question is, do I have to wait until March 1st?
Absolutely not. I think
better if you don't.
Sooner the better. If you're considering charter, start the conversation with the Walmart Luminate team as quickly as you can. And if you're decidedly going to go with basic, there's a couple of reasons why I would support that decision. There's other reasons why it's like, hey, let's talk about what it takes to get the return from charter. Different folks have different approaches here. I always like going after growth. If given the choice of, as a merchant, if you could give me a low budget and low resources, or force me to have a really high sales budget and give me some resources to go get it, I took the high number. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get after it. And I think in retail, if you're not progressing, you're certainly at risk of going backwards. And there are some folks where Walmart's not a strategic partner, and your goal isn't to grow with the Walmart platform. You've got other platforms that are driving growth, and it serves a specific need. And in those scenarios, it probably makes sense to, spend as little as you need to maintain the business. Just know that with data comes increased speed. With increased speed, increased competition. And, the future's not guaranteed. So we look at that very, very humbly as we work at helping our clients understand the power of the data in the context of the categories that they're in. So.
And really, ultimately, it's don't wait. Whether you're initiating with charter or not, reach out to us, hit us up through LinkedIn, come to our website, send us a message through the contact. We'd love to meet with you, answer your questions, help you navigate the road ahead.
Yeah. There's areas from, how do I manage my content score in this future? What does my access to Nova change? What happens to item 360? Retail link isn't going away.
Right.
A lot of times people call DSS Retail link.
Right.
Retail link is an entire website. DSS was how you got data from Retail link. And that DSS is going away.
Yeah.
So the other tools within Retail link largely remain there. When it comes to operating PO management, there is increased visibility in charter that makes PO management easier, makes forecast management way more dynamic, which has been really fun to build.
Significant.
To build out the tools to really capture the power of billions of rows of data as you navigate forecast management with your Walmart team.
It's one thing to know what your forecast is. It's another to know what it should be.
Yeah.
And we help you know both of those things.
Yeah. So do I have to be, should I pack up my bags and go home because everything's changing and I'm used to DSS?
Absolutely not.
I've had so many people, they're just terrified of this change. And I don't think it's one you have to be afraid of. It's unchartered.
Right.
No puns intended. So when navigating this kind of change, James, what's your counsel?
Stay calm, ask for advice, and learn everything you can, whether it's us or somebody else. Get in the room with an agency that's been working on this, and we've been working on it with one of the people that built it for the last year and a half. So we invite you to reach out, and we'd love to be a part of your journey.
Yeah. I couldn't say that better. So what's next?
Well, March 1st is decision day. We advise you that if you're going to go basic, start now. If you're going to go charter, start now. Reach out again on LinkedIn, on highimpactanalytics.com, on our contact page, and we'd love to set up some time with you.
Yeah. Do we do a lightning round when it's just us?
I didn't think so.
Yeah. Great. Then let's not do a lightning round. So March 1st, not quite, is when it all DSS goes away. I think there's going to be an office space style party, and whoever used DSS the longest gets to take a swing at the server first. It's getting shut down, and it's over. It's been good. It's been long, probably a little overdue, past its shelf life.
Yeah.
Excited for the change ahead. For you, if you're using data to make decisions at retail, then it's not linear. You know that there's things that you have to navigate. We only focus on Walmart and Sam's because we know there's a lot about this business that can impact your performance in a significant way. So happy to be here, happy to serve. Excited to talk to you all about your thoughts. If you're choosing basic, I'd love to know why. Reach out. I'd love to hear your thoughts about why you're going that direction. And if you're already in charter, we'd love to talk about getting the most out of what this data has to offer as we empower you to make some of the best decisions you can make for your business on a regular basis and get to see the results from it.
Thank you very much.